Hello everyone, it's been a while since we've had any news, but today's video is going to be interesting. Firstly, today I'm gonna tell you about the new patch in which the Gekko was changed and several very cool features were added. I'll also tell you about all the news from the past week. The video will be interesting, so I wish you a pleasant viewing and let's get started. Well, let's start directly with the patch notes. Immediately I want to burst in and say that the developers came to their senses and changed the Gekko grenade. After all, it shouldn't break Killjoy ultimate in solo play, as overall damage to objects has been reduced from a coefficient of 2.5 to 1, and this is the right decision. I don't know why they didn't do it right away. A regular ability shouldn't break Killjoy's ultimate like that, and the reduction of coefficient will also mean that damage to Sage's wall will also be reduced. In short, the Gekko grenade has become slightly less overpowered and is now on par with KO Fragment and Breach Aftershock. Next is a change regarding to Wingman. Its interpretation is a bit strange. The Wingman now always dies if he remains alive last, but as far as I know he always died if he remained last, although in the video with the example this wasn't the case. Even though the round was lost, Spike was set up with the Wingman, but it didn't need to be defended. So to avoid confusion, the Wingman will now die immediately. Regarding the Wingman, there are many questions one way or another. It is definitely an overpowered ability. While playing Gekko, I always have from 8 to 10 Spike setups in every game, and this is considering that we have only 12 rounds on attack. It's like having an extra player on your team. Personally, I think that the setup or diffusing of the Spike should be made slower at least. Write in the comments how you think about this. Is Wingman overpowered? Oh, and Wingman will no longer stun invulnerable agents, which surprised me during testing. It could even stun an invisible Reyna, which was illogical, so that won't happen anymore. Next we have a small update with the Lotus. Developers changed the visual effects of the destructible wall in a link. Now if there is an enemy right behind the wall, it will be much easier to spot them, which is very good and truly useful change, as before there was complete chaos due to the dust after destruction. And finally, something new and completely unexpected, I will say. Developers added the ability to disable the outline and colored highlights of agents, so you'll just have agents as they are, without red, yellow or purple highlighting, like models in CSGO. To enable or disable this feature, you'll need to go to the settings menu, then general, and go to the other tab. That's where you'll find this option. It is clear that in Valorant this highlighting is needed to better distinguish allies from opponents, as agents can be identical, but I've been wanting this feature to be added to Valorant for a long time. I'm not sure if it will be convenient, but I'll definitely give it a try. And as always, various bugs were fixed. For example, now you can send this symbol in private messages, which means you can send cute emojis to your friends. Well, the other bugs are not as interesting, so let's move on. Valorant is currently being released in China, and there have been some interesting news about it. For example, Anna Donald gave a small interview regarding whether there will be agent peaks and bans in Valorant. The answer was negative, as the current number of agents suits developers and they do not think it's time to introduce peaks and bans yet, although she also added that their development team will revisit this issue twice a year. However, only 2 agents are added at most in 6 months, so it is unlikely that this feature will appear in the next year. The second question touched on an equally sensitive topic, namely skins for agents, which could be a significant source of revenue. For example, in CS2, why do you think they added legs in first-person view? Of course, it was to later add a case with skins for shoes. Well, it is a normal idea, right? Anyway, regarding skins for agents, Anna answered the following. We like the idea of skins for agents and the community seems to be on board too, but it is crucial to think everything through, because if a skin is distracting to players, it will significantly affect gameplay quality. You need an agent model that will be equally visible from both close and long distances. In short, it is challenging to do, so they are not in a hurry to add them. There are skins for heroes in League of Legends, but it doesn't affect the gameplay quality as much in my opinion, so there are no final conclusions yet. And it is not a sure thing that skins for agents will appear, but the fact that developers like this idea give us some hope. And what do you think? Do we really need skins for the agents? I would like to see them just to have Riot update the store, as they will have to update something, right? Because right now the store looks not really good. Since everything is very strict in China and they have their own way of doing things, it was not easy to introduce Valorant there, and in fact the Chinese server will be behind the current patch, but they will be able to catch up quickly through holiday events to mark the game's launch. All of this is due to legislation, because when you submit a game for approval in China, it must be the same version and launched at the same time. So tomorrow we will be playing patch 6.06 while they will be playing the beta version in China. Well, of course I'm joking, they won't be that far behind, but you get the idea. We were also told that at the end of the year a new agent will be introduced in Valorant who will completely disrupt the current understanding of abilities. abilities. Thinking about agents, Smoke Dancer wasn't Gekko's codename, so we still don't know who that is. But the idea that our understanding of abilities will be completely broken is certainly intriguing, even though I'm not sure what would need to happen for that to occur. Perhaps an agent with 5 abilities, or the opposite with just 2 or 3 but very powerful ones. Although that sounds too simple. Yes, in our videos we often discuss things together, so please leave a comment on what would be mind-blowing for you. Also, we don't know who Smoke Dancer is yet, but a new codename has already appeared, Cashew. A codename related to an artist pretty cool, but I don't read too much into it. We already know that it doesn't work that way, it's just another agent in development. He might be called Cashew simply because someone came up with the idea while was eating cashews. Valorant Leaks also tweeted that developers are working on balancing Killjoy, and this was over 10 days ago. We didn't receive any changes in this patch, so something serious is probably being prepared. You all saw Killjoy's pick rate, right? The main thing for her is to not make her like Chamber, I guess. What else was interesting? Well, Riot released a new set of skins, and it is like, I don't know. Well, at least the knife give us hope for some new animations, which I doubt will be default, but we'll see. Well, that's all from me. Thanks everyone who watched to the end. See you soon. Bye bye.